All right, guys. New year, new Novaeo. Let's go, baby. So yeah, over the next probably like month, I'm gonna be updating you guys on a lot of changes that we'll be making over time to ultimately here are our goals with the changes that we want to make. I have been saying this for years, and it's extremely important to me that everybody on the team is rich. At least, step one is being rich, and I'm talking financially rich. Obviously, lifestyle and all that stuff too, but financially rich, at least step one is within the economy of which you live. Step two is to be able to travel outside of the economy from which you live. And step three is to be able to live anywhere in the world with a good lifestyle. But in order to get there, we really need to be able to produce significantly more value than what we have been doing at each, like the average individual level. So how do we get there? We have to identify the things that are ultimately sucking the momentum from each individual, which means we need more autonomy at the individual level. We need significantly better communication between all of us. I'm trying to, as part of this idealistic culture, I also want us to have as much individual freedom as humanly possible. That's time freedom, geographical freedom, financial freedom, freedom within your role to do your role within the way that you think is best, et cetera, et cetera. But we're not there yet. And so one of the other big pushes that we really need to be making this year for 2023 is to release myself, first release myself, and then release Derek from day-to-day operations. So for example, just earlier today, I was working in Slack and I had to do, or I was asked to do grammar checking of some copy that was written. That's not the kind of stuff that you would normally have a CEO of an 80-person business doing. But in Novaeo, the culture is such that everything seems to flow through myself and or Derek. And some of that might be due to lack of confidence at the individual level within the role. Some of that might be due to maybe some level of micromanagement that myself and Derek have been doing, so that's what people grow accustomed to. Whatever it is, that's something that we ultimately need to change. The other thing that we really need to change is to really solidify our universal systems, the systems that no matter what pod you're in, no matter what guild you're in, no matter whatever you're in, there are certain systems that are going to be universal across all of Novaeo. These are our operational systems that we are dubbing, Harmony. So one of the big moves that we're still in the process of making is moving to ClickUp. So we're going to move from Asana to ClickUp. Currently in Asana, we're still not really all using Asana in one unified way. We kind of have like different clusters of people that use Asana in a different way than another cluster of people. But ultimately where we want to get to is that all people are using our technological platforms in the exact same way. So our migration from Asana to ClickUp is going to be our opportunity to really round us up and make that happen. Soon after ClickUp, we will start migrating into using Notion as well. I personally don't have that much experience with Notion. That became a conversation back when we had Maya as a freelancer working with us. That relationship didn't really work out that well, but it did inspire us to learn a little bit about Notion and understand how powerful it is. So once we have a really nice solid transition from Asana to ClickUp and we have a full understanding with using ClickUp as our project management platform, our project and task management platform, I guess I should say, really more on the task side. It's kind of like ClickUp is going to be more on the task management, and then Notion is going to be more at the level of project management, collecting all the tasks into a single Notion page that presents big picture information. The step before Notion is going to be using Google Docs. So what I'm going to be asking all of the leads to start doing is to develop a GDoc template that we ultimately use as a single one-stop shop for any outsiders from the pod, as well as the insiders of the pod, will then have a like a good understanding overview of everything currently going on. Where are we at? What's our status? What are our KPIs, our targets? What, how far along in percentage are we to getting to those KPIs and targets? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What are the bottlenecks we're currently experiencing? What are the problems? Do we have solutions to those problems? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then that's also where our reporting is going to go, which is another step that we need to really do better in. So one of the operational issues I'm having is I'm communicating to the team, numerous times. You guys have probably heard reporting for months and months and months now, but still to this day, nobody stays consistent with reporting. And this is a little frustrating to me, because this is the type of stuff that the CEO shouldn't need to handhold. I should be able to say, hey guys, when you do reports, present your best efforts for your reports, put them in this Slack channel. They're due on, I forget what we said, Monday or Friday or whatever, and then we'll evolve. Well, I haven't checked Slack in a few days in this channel, the progression channel, but to date, it's only been Faith and Lowly that have been putting, I shouldn't say to date, since last I checked Slack, which is a few days ago, it had only been Faith and Lowly that had been putting reports into that channel. And so, actually, quick little shout out to you guys, Faith, Lowly, and the pod members involved. As a little reward for that, everyone in recruiting, everyone in CE, $50 bonus. So Blaise, could you make that happen? $50 bonus to everyone in CE and everyone in recruiting as a thank you for being able to absorb the information in this way when I communicate in videos or long wire posts, to be able to absorb that information on your own and then execute, rather than needing 5, 6, 7 follow-ups, and then it goes from me doing follow-ups to LJ doing follow-ups, and then someone might start finally doing reporting, and they do it for 2 weeks, and then they stop doing reporting. That's the type of shit that we need to get away from. We really need to build autonomy, or else we're never going to get to this idealistic culture in which we're all rich as shit. We're all super living in autonomy and freedom. And ultimately, where I really want to get to is when we're only working about 20 hours a week in terms of actual work activity. Now, the other hours is going to come from other kinds of incentive systems that I want to create within Novaeo. The veterans, you guys have heard this a bunch. So that kind of stuff includes wellness goals. So for us all to have individual wellness goals that we try to use some of our daily time to achieve. And if we achieve those wellness goals, which will be at a customized level, eventually at least, to get financial incentive from that. And then to also have professional growth incentives too. So whether you, and this is going to happen at the individual level too, what skills do you want to develop professionally? And then we'll ultimately have a structure in which there's time and energy set aside, I guess I should say attention set aside, so that each individual can work towards those new skill developments. So that is the perfect segue into something that's becoming really exciting to Derek and I. As you guys have noticed, Derek and I have not been super into our communications for the past 2 weeks. We have been talking about a ton of really big picture stuff. That's the stuff that I'm going to be releasing to you guys bit by bit over the next month or so in videos such as this. But the one I want to talk about right now is our use of AI. Holy shit, Derek and I have gone down an AI wormhole. And it is nuts what AI is capable of today. And literally every 3 months, there is forecasting and expectation that AI is basically not necessarily going to double on itself. I don't really mean to call it like a mathematical equation in that way, but ultimately AI is just getting more and more powerful, more and more functional. Companies that have released either AI languages or AI tools using OpenAI platforms, they are building more and more functionality. They are eliminating glitches and stuff like that. And we need to stay up to date on that stuff because it can be used in almost every area of our business. And ultimately, the sky's the limit. So first, we need to catch up on how other people are using AI in related businesses, and then what one of my jobs is going to be, and ultimately one of Derek's jobs is going to be, is to know what exists out there in the world of really just technology, but AI is the big thing in technology, for us to stay up to date on that, which is going to be difficult because it changes like every 2 weeks, there's more and more. But for us to stay up to date on it, and then for me to use my creativity in figuring out how in different individuals, how different roles, how different pods, how different overall business operations can utilize AI in order to become more efficient and more effective. And we need to become more efficient and we need to become more effective at the individual and the collective level for us to build this idealistic culture and organizational structure with these goals that I have of every single person being incredibly free. I love that word free. Financially free, geographically free, free of time, being in control of your whole world, doing everything that's basically up to you with guidance that's always going to be there, mentorship that's always going to be there. And we operate within the structure. So we can't just have everyone just doing whatever the fuck they want and not even communicating to each other, because that's just going to be a mess. So we create this one universal structure, this system at which we all operate inside of. And so we all have this box that we operate in, and we have this communication system, the reporting, the technological platform structure. And basically it's just like, okay, we're all off of our leash, let's do our roles. And then let's progress our skills. So anyway, what AI is not going to do, it's not going to replace any people. It will likely move people around a little bit to different roles. That's very possible and probable. But ultimately what we're going to do with AI is we're going to scale every individual and therefore scale the collective, meaning every individual is going to be able to do so much more than what they're currently able to do, both in terms of actual capability, but mostly in terms of efficiency. So for example, let me back up. Derek has been investing himself into building this really, I mean, it's still growing, but this really robust spreadsheet of AI tools that I have come across. If I come across some, I just send it to him and he adds it to the spreadsheet. But he's been doing a lot of research into various tools that already exist today that we can already just like instantly see, holy shit, we can use it this way, you can use it this way. So this includes stuff such as, there is an AI tool in which no longer does anyone really need to know, well, this is the direction that it's going anyway, but in the future, no one is really going to need to know how to code spreadsheets, for example. Now, does that mean that we're not going to need Marvin? No, of course not. But it does mean that Marvin, you need to become like the ultimate AI guy for this tool, because the way this works is instead of learning code, instead of learning the formatting, that's a cool little hole. Instead of learning the various formatting, you literally can just type out text casually, however you would like talk to a friend. Hey, AI tool, I want to build a spreadsheet that can do this. Take this cell and manipulate that data so that it tells me this information. So normally that takes a lot of coding. Now all it takes is being able to type out your thoughts, what you can conceptualize in your mind, into a text box, and then it spits it out. And that's the really important thing to remember. Years and years down the road, this will probably be a different story. But for the next little while, AI is just a tool. It still is going to require human prompting, which means it's a skill. It's not in the foreseeable future, yes, but in the very near future, the next couple of years at least, it's not going to be able to do things totally automatically. It's a tool that'll be able to do some things automatically, but it's always going to require prompts. So when I say prompt, I mean stuff like typing into that text box what it is that you want the spreadsheet to do for you. And so that is a skill that has to be learned. It has to be, first you have to research. You have to find YouTube videos and stuff like that on how other people are doing it. We can find courses and training materials. We can find influencers that communicate on that subject frequently and stay up to date for us by doing even more research on, and then consolidate it down, and then we absorb their consolidated information. But at the end of the day, it's going to require practicing day and day. So AI is going to become heavily used in our customer service and really customer engagement in general. So any kind of community outreach can be significantly done through AI. We can literally teach our AI a specific personality or personalities to hold. So even if you're on your worst day, I don't know, let's say you're super hungover and angry at the world, you can still sound like a cheery, happy person like our current customer service people actually are in real life, even if you're angry, because you're just going to type out what you want the AI to write out for you. You tell it the personality that you want it to have. It's going to learn from all your previous conversations, and it's going to spit everything out for you. We can teach it our SOPs. So this is what to do whenever a customer has a late shipment. This is what to do, blah, 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 blah. So basically, we can take our FAQ pages and use that as prompts or inputs to train the AI bot. And as long as we use that same piece of code, which again, we're not coders, so you don't, guys, look, this, I wish I could show you the camera that I'm working with right now. It took me like 45 minutes to set this thing up because I am a tech moron. I am dumb as shit when it comes to technology. It's actually pretty hilarious, but these AI tools are so easy to use, and there's so much information out there on YouTube and other things. Not to mention, we're going to lean on our tech-oriented minds, of which we have a ton of these days, to learn AI for us and help us out and become mentors in technology. So we have a lot of people. I don't need to name every single person that's good at tech. But nobody should be intimidated by this. So customer service people, I don't know if any of you guys are very tech-oriented, but I'm telling you, you basically will need to learn AI, because if you don't learn AI, then you won't be able to find jobs anywhere. So, and this goes to creatives and stuff as well. So it's in that way that people are a little bit threatened about AI. But I'm telling you, it's not something that's going to replace humans for a while. It's something that humans can use as a tool to scale and grow themselves. And that's what every individual on the team is going to need to start doing at every level. And again, don't be intimidated by it. You can be a tech moron like me and still crush it with being able to effectively use AI. So designers, you guys need to really learn the design-oriented AI tools out there. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to be able to produce so much more. Guys, we have like 8 brands with another 300 brands that we want to create. We're never going to run out of content that needs to get created. And I really don't want to have like a 30-person creative agency, but that's what it would require right now. Well, okay, no sarcasm. It would probably require like a 12 to 15-person creative agency for us to do the amount of work that I have in my mind at the rate at which I would want to do this. With AI, I mean, honestly, what's going to happen is I'm just going to not stop coming up with content ideas. So, you know, we have the team that we have now, and then we'll see what kind of outputs we can create, and then probably even recruit more people along the way. Again, no one needs to be fearful of their jobs. Only be fearful of the jobs if you are totally opposed to learning new skills and being able to adapt to the changing market and industry that we're currently in which case you are not going to succeed in any other related business. You will have to change your career to doing something that AI is not totally into, and you'll probably have about 2 years until AI is into that. So you guys should be thinking, this is awesome. This is an opportunity for me to grow myself so much. And even if you don't want to stay in Novaeo forever, that's fine. You're going to learn skills and systems ahead of the curve of what other people are learning, because most other businesses are still intimidated by AI, and they're going to be a lot slower to adopt. But there's going to be enough competitors and enough other businesses that are adopting AI, and so that's why we need to keep up with them. Actually, fuck that. I want to be ahead of them. So anyway, designers, you guys are going to learn design AI. Copywriters, you guys are going to learn all the copy AI. Realistically, you guys may as well learn both. Copywriters, you might be really gifted with the written word, and you'll be able to learn the prompts that AI can spit out written word and do research for you way faster. But you know, design is right there with copy, right? I mean, how often does a copywriter need to tag team with a designer? But in the world of AI, you can just, as a copywriter, you can learn a little bit of an AI design tool, and it's not like learning Photoshop or anything like that. That takes takes a specific mind to do or whatever. It'll be a lot easier than that. I've already started learning some of it. Again, tech moron. So you guys will be able to do some small scale small scale design, writing your own copy. So designers, same kind of thing. Even if you're working on projects that are more geared towards design, of course, that's what you would be doing. Anything that needs like a little bit of copy thrown on there, no problem. You'll be able to use AI for. And then it'll still pass through our creative directors like Marge and Charmaine and all these other people that have the brain that can tie it all together. But you guys will at least be able to create it completely on your own. So the more copy-oriented projects the copywriters will do, but they can still insert their own AI design. The more design-oriented projects, you can still insert your own simplified copy. So for the designers that know video but aren't that great with like still images, still graphics, you'll be able to easily use AI to do the still stuff, and vice versa. If you're a designer that doesn't really know video all that well, learn a couple AI tools and now you'll be amazing at it. Social media, that like one person will be able to create almost all of our social media content, the filler content, the stuff that's like less strategic and more just like, okay, we need to be posting. So we'll be able to scale significantly. I watched a YouTube video where someone was able to build a fully legit website. It was a mock design agency, and he built it using an AI tool in 30 seconds. No bullshit, 30 seconds. It wasn't like the best of the best, but it gives a really good starting point. So customer service, accounting. There's AI tools that are coming out in finance and accounting, so we're gonna need to stay up to date on that. That's gonna be really incredible, especially with the more complicated accounting projects that we're gonna have in our future as we start breaking up our different functions of our team into independent entities, and therefore we have different sets of books that we have to maintain, like accounting books for tax purposes. AI will really help out there. And then where we haven't really gone too deep in our research yet, but it's next up on the list, is operations. So we know for sure there's a lot of AI out there that can really help out with our system operations, but we haven't really gone too deep down that rabbit hole yet. So Derek has that spreadsheet that I mentioned. We'll probably keep on adding some more AI tools to it. Next steps to that spreadsheet is to do a little bit of a summary of each tool, which AI will probably do the summary for us. We'll just input that list of AI tools and then say, hey, AI, give us a summary on each one of these tools. We'll send that out. We'll also communicate exactly who should 100% check out each tool. We'll post some YouTube videos that communicate the more broad spectrum of what AI can do so that everyone can understand it. And then as a team, designers go deep down the designer AI rabbit hole, copywriters do their thing, customer service do their thing, and everyone kind of do their own independent research of what AI can do within the role that you have. That is the next level that I want everyone to be able to reach, to be able to teach yourself stuff and think about your role and understand your role so that you can grow yourself within the role, let alone help each other out to grow, to become more autonomous in your role, to be able to take on more, to be able to create more value. And in exchange, that is going to free us up to be able to pay significantly higher, more money to everyone, which I know is of course important to everyone. Even me, who's less financially motivated at the personal income level, is still financially motivated. I mean, I want to live in abundance for sure. I just don't really care to live a lifestyle outside of what I'm having now. I want money to be able to invest in building more projects. That's what money's function is for me. But I know it's important for everyone else too. So as we scale our individual abilities, that's also going to allow us to build in the the mentorship system, so that now we're not just focused on work, but we get reduced down to like a 20-hour, maybe like 25-hour at first. I don't know, we'll see. It really depends on you guys. Honestly, it depends on you guys, how effective you guys become at producing value, so that I can scale down in the future, I actually want to get away from required work hours. So like tracking time right now, there's a few purposes for tracking time. One is to see where people are struggling in terms of efficiency so that I can help. But one is for sure accountability. And we've needed that because we've brought people into the team that really take advantage of our freedom. And so right now we need that, but eventually I want to get away from tracking time for the purpose of accountability so that at the end of the day, I don't really care how much or how long anyone works for. I want people to actually work less, but we will always look at outputs, the value that's created. And that's why also the reporting systems are so important and why I'm kind of like really, really wanting people to work harder on this reporting and all that stuff, but that'll come. I'm going to do a little bit more hand holding with the reporting, lead by lead. I'm going to start saying, okay, this is what your frequency is of reporting. This is the information that we need, all that kind of stuff. But that'll come over probably like the next month or so. So overall, there's other stuff that we needed to. It's not just all about AI. It's really refining our operational systems to be more efficient. Again, it really has a lot to do with reporting, but to really use other technology outside of AI like ClickUp, Notion, etc., in an effective way that we all universally use it the same way. So that's it for now. I'm going to try to keep my videos a little shorter so they're easier to digest. What we will also start doing is running my videos through an AI tool that will, yeah, get this. So we can have, I'm going to spend a couple more minutes. I'll tell you how cool this shit is. So we can run, for example, this video through an AI tool that's going to turn everything I say into transcript, like into text. Then we can take a different AI tool where we add all that text in and say there's like, I'm not really sure, maybe there's like, I don't know, 10,000 words in this almost 30-minute video. We're going to say, okay, paraphrase the main points of this text, because we're going to transcribe it to text. Then we're going to input that text, and we're going to say, okay, take this transcription text that's 10,000 words or whatever, and reduce it down to just the main points to 1,000 words. And so what that's going to end up doing is I'm still going to want everyone to watch these long-ass videos because I think it's important that you feel my energy and hear my context and get to know me, honestly. I mean, I know a lot of you guys feel like you know me, but with every interaction, you're going to know me more. So we still want that version of content, that version of information flow, that communication to still exist inside of our team. But in terms of really making sure that we digest everything that's communicated, which has been one of our issues, we can use these little cheat sheets. And then what's even crazier still is once we reduce that down to 1,000 words or whatever, we can use another AI tool to say, okay, now turn this into a YouTube video of 10 minutes in length, include B-roll on topics such as, I don't know, like AI and technology and business operations and blah, blah. And literally we're gonna have a video, a 10-minute video that uses the script that was written by the previous AI tool that broke everything down from 10,000 words down to 1,000 words. And then it's gonna insert the video graphic so that we have a nice, whatever I said, 10-minute or 1-minute video. We can reduce that down into 15-second TikTok reels or Instagram reels and be like, hey, AI, take each main point that was made in this 1,000 words and do 10 different YouTube shorts, 10 different TikTok reels, 10 different Instagram reels. It's really wild what AI is already able to do. And I'm telling you, every 2 months, something more comes out. So yeah, pretty nuts. And then, gosh, there's another AI tool that you load in web pages and it will tell you, you load in web pages and then you put a box around anything that you want the AI to track to tell you if it changes. So think about our Amazon listings. We can load in a bunch of our competitors and including search pages and say, okay, anytime something changes on this competitor listing, whether it's their price or their copy or whatever, their review rating, put it into this spreadsheet and put it in chronological order. So Abby, the bot that you created, as amazing as it is, as helpful as it's been, this AI tool will probably be able to do it easier, cleaner, and at a bigger scale than what the bot that you created does. Doesn't mean that bot was worthless for us. It just means we're on the next evolution. The next piece of technology, is this system is going to evolve. So that'll be one of the things that you'll need to learn. It's called browse.ai. which has significantly more function. But browse.ai, Abby, you should take a look at that and see how that we can use that in our Amazon tracking. Search pages, competitor pages, even stuff that's going on in our pages, because Amazon doesn't always send us information about any changes that are made. So yeah, I mean, it's fucking crazy, guys. And so, you know, if we could increase the scale at which every individual is able to create and contribute value by 3, and I think realistically it's more like 10, then we can increase the income of every individual by 3 or perhaps 10. And I have no qualms with doing that. I want to make sure that we have enough income coming into Novaeo, the business, so that we can create more projects and grow as a business, but the rest of it can go to you guys. I don't need much. So, okay, I hit my 30-minute mark. I want to keep my videos a little shorter than the 40 to 45 I used to do. This is already a little longer than I wanted to, but hey, 30 minutes is pretty good. All right, guys, so it's time to rally. I will release more information about some other changes and some other evolutions that we're going to be undergoing throughout the course of 2023. But at the end of the day, the number one thing is to understand is that we are going to grow and we are going to succeed. We're going to adapt and evolve and be completely and utterly badass. Cool. Thanks, guys, for watching.